Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and today I have for you a chilled out video that I do now and again where I throw up a gameplay as background footage and I answer your questions from previous videos of this kind. And what you're about to see on screen is how I often spawn into conquest games with no limbs at first and thus can't do things such as climb over fences. So that's the immersion broken, right? Straight off the bat. But the gameplay itself is with the RSC that I got before the TTK patch that made medics more accurate, etc, and so I figured I'm never going to use this for anything else now, so I may as well use it for this video. As usual, it's not my best game, not my worst game, just a game for me to talk over. And today seemed like a good day for a chilled video like this, as tomorrow the Apocalypse DLC drops, and thus will be almost all about the new weapons here for the next week or two after this video. So be sure to get in the comment section now, or at the end of the video, to leave a question for the next time we do something like this, and maybe I'll get to it. The rule is one question per person. And also if you want to stick on notifications so you don't miss future videos, with YouTube being kind of broken at the minute, that would be great as well. So let's get some of the questions I've previously been asked. We'll start off with Dylan Sinnott, who asks, do I think the Call of Duty franchise is dead? Well, that's kind of a complicated one, I guess. Do I think it's dead? No, it's still massive. Obviously, Call of Duty is still incredibly popular. Even if they get like half of the sales that they have had before, it's still one of the biggest titles of the year. Do I think they're on a downward spiral though? I would say yes. I don't think it's anywhere near as popular as it once was, both in terms of like the general gaming population that I find, and also just people that I know. In fact, everyone that I know you tend to play what your friends play, and I get that, but everyone that I know, I think they all pretty much used to play COD, and now none of them do bar Mike, or so Fotoras, who sometimes in the videos. He plays zombies now and again with some friends. That's about it. That's literally it. And I think this is because the franchise has become kind of tired in some ways, whilst also innovating in poor ways. That sounds counterintuitive, so those are two opposing arguments, but I'll explain what I mean. It's the same old game in some ways, right? Which is great for its fast action, its high pace, etc. But one, maybe some people are bored of that. Most aren't, but maybe some are. But two, the engine for me still feels poor. The graphics don't seem to have been particularly updated, and it just feels to me, alright? Don't get offended, Call of Duty fans. To me, it just feels like a poor game now. It feels like a budget game. I used to say that Call of Duty, their mechanics, their movement, their gunplay was the epitome of good FPS mechanics. Now it feels so far behind when I compare it to Battlefield, to Destiny, stuff like that. It just doesn't feel like it's been updated. It feels clunky and not particularly satisfying in a lot of ways. It doesn't feel current gen to me, is what I'm saying. But then also, you can add to that the innovation they have brought in, and innovation is generally a good thing, but the jump packs and stuff like that just doesn't work for something like COD. And this is probably somewhat down to map design. Call of Duty maps are, or were, let's say, designed around 3 lanes, fairly small, high-paced action, knowing spawns, etc., flow of battle. You throw in jump packs to that, and suddenly the speed of the game is so much higher that the spawns barely matter. There's no real flow to the game. You create chaos. There's too much verticality for Call of Duty as well. It just doesn't play out very well, in my mind. So I think COD really took a backward step when they were going down that route, and they've lost a lot of ground now. They've then gone back to boots on the ground for World at War, which everyone was hyped about, and then I just don't think the game was very good, quite simply. So I think it's a shame. I'm still excited to go back and maybe do a video or two on Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, stuff like that. But new Call of Duties, I just can't see me throwing my money at, to be honest with you. So no, it's not dead. Yes, I think it's going downhill. Yes, I think one day it will die, unless it sort of just becomes an entirely new kind of experience. Or it will just fall by the wayside somewhat. Look at Halo. Halo is nowhere near where it used to be. I can see it doing something similar. So, with that said, next up we have Jay Dykstra. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. If not, I apologise. Please tell me in the comments if it's not pronounced that way. He says, talk about cheese. So I will. Because normally you let these comments just sort of go by. But one, he's asked me twice about it on 2 different videos. And 2, I have very, very mildly interesting things to say about cheese. More so than other people, I guess. It's not going to be that interesting now. I'm building this up like it's some huge cheese secret, which it's not. But I didn't like cheese as a child. I didn't like cheese at all. I really didn't like cheese. I've said that several times. You might have gathered that I didn't like cheese as a kid. That's what we're gaining from that. But I did like it on burgers and things, and on pizza. So I guess what I'm saying is I like mozzarella on a pizza because it's very, very mild. And I enjoy plastic cheese on on a burger because it doesn't taste like cheese. Probably. But then one day, my granddad, my God, am I really going down this route? Go on then. My granddad brought me a Red Leicester cheese cob. It's a type of cheese. I used to do cross country as a kid. Do one of my cross country races, long distance running, that is, if you're not sure. And I ate it and I liked it. And so, wow, this is ridiculous, isn't it? And so anyway, then I started eating cheese more, and now I like cheese. So, there you go. Talked about cheese, Jay Dykstra. You don't have to ask me anymore. It's done. But then we go to Mooney Shea, who asked, do you like cookies? Yes. Yes, I do. Does anyone not like cookies? I don't know what the deal is with multiple people asking about food. Apparently that's interesting to them, or they're just trolling me. But get in the comment section and let me, and I guess Mooney Shea know, if you like cookies. Alright, and which ones? I like the ones from Subway, for his example. Words. Moving on. Let's see if we can squeeze in one from Lucas Guti 20. He says, why do you prefer the small game modes? That's kind of changing, actually. I now really do enjoy Conquest a lot. I'll probably play Conquest and larger game modes a lot more in the next Battlefield game. But I have played small game modes a lot in this Battlefield, to begin with predominantly because it was my first Battlefield game. Yeah, this was literally my first one. I'd never really played before apart from maybe the BF3 beta. So this was a new experience for me, and coming from predominantly Call of Duty and Destiny, much smaller map design with less people on the map, it felt more familiar for me. I like the high-paced action for a start, but also it allowed me to get used to sort of the flow of things, to how spawns are. I learn how to work spawns in FPS games when I can. It can be very helpful. I had a lot of experience of doing that in COD and such like. So I sort of transferred that over to Battlefield and used that skill set to develop my overall Battlefield skill set. And so I got into the habit of just playing smaller game modes such as Domination, and it just went from there. But we're now at a point where I like to play other stuff as well. I'll play Domination for just the high-paced action when I want it, but yeah, generally now I will play Conquest a lot more than before. Also because the matchmaking in Domination for myself and my friends when we play is pretty ridiculous. It's like entering some form of MOG competition every time, which is insane. The skill-based thing in the game is so strict at this point, or there are less people playing, not sure which, but you get lag and hard games, etc. So we play Domination here and there, but a lot more we now play Conquest, and I also just play other games now as well, like Fortnite and stuff. That's off on a bit of a tangent. So yeah, expect more Fortnite, expect more Battlefield, expect more old Call of Duties. This is really a tangent. Expect more stuff in the future, but obviously a lot more Battlefield. That's the main thing. Please don't whinge me in the comments. Yes, cool. There we go. Got that out. Done. These are some weird answers, aren't they? This is kind of a weird video, really. People don't really do commentaries like this anymore. I am. Not because I'm good at them, but because I'm just am doing them. Or something. I better bring this to a close, really, hadn't I? So, as I said before, at the start of the video, get your questions into the comment section below. There's the end of the game, victory. I'll show you the stats that I got after we quickly shoot over to the Board of Awesome, celebrate the fantastic people who choose to support the channel on Patreon. There are a couple of new names on there this time. So thank you to Dame Over, my mate Dame. You know, go subscribe to him, get him to 1,000 subs, keep him partnered. That'd be great. I'll put the link in the description. And also thank you to Bishop883i for adding your support. It's truly appreciated. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link will be in the description to the Patreon page, as well as my pinned comment, where you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month if you so wish. It is genuinely appreciated. Please also turn on notifications if you feel like it, because YouTube's sub box again is broken. You won't miss videos in the future if you do that. And also, feel free to like, favorite, and subscribe. I'm GetGoodGuy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.